You didn't have anything else to do today, right? Can't you give a guy a break? Welcome to Life on the Moose. And welcome back if you've been here before. If you're looking for an experienced outdoor kitchen wall framer, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I haven't done this before. I don't think it's rocket science. We don't have to worry about permits and code and getting carried away with all that stuff. This is just an outdoor kitchen in the middle of nowhere. But we're gonna figure this out and everything will be just fine. There's been a change in plans since the last time I told you what we were gonna do. Here, I'll show you. So on this short wall, I think I told you last episode that we were gonna have a solid wall, no openings, no windows. We're not gonna have any windows, but I am gonna frame in a hatch door, if you will, something we can open up from the outside. So this is the far side from the cabin anyway. We're gonna put a half wall on this side all the way across. The finished product of this wall is gonna be 42 inches. So I'm gonna frame up this wall to be about 41 inches. I'm not 100% sure of our finished product on top and how thick it's gonna be, but you know, that's gonna be close enough. So what I'm gonna use for most of my material is this 2x6 stuff that we hauled up the last episode. You know, the stuff that did not slide out of the bucket. It worked out well. So this 2x6 material I milled up about 2 months ago. When I milled up everything for the cabin up there, I milled flooring and millwork, window trim, and whatnot. I also milled up this. So back then when I milled it, I actually videoed it. I thought, well, it's not fair for me to do all this work and not share it with you. So I videoed it. Here, let's take a look. So I'm real happy how this pine turned out. Some of it has a few wormholes in it. That's okay. Isn't gonna hurt anything. Some of it's really clean, but it'll work out nice. So I'm gonna put these 24 inches on center because none of these walls are gonna be load bearing really, so there's not gonna be any concern about weight. Well, what do you say we get to work? I wanted to point out one thing on this half wall here. I told you it's going to be 24-inch centers. The 24 begins at the edge of the post because I want my sheathing, which is going to be 4 feet lengths or widths in this case, one of the two. I want it to land exactly in the stud. So the same principle is going to hold true for this wall. I'm going to come over a solid 4 feet from the very corner of the post, and I'm going to do the same with this side. Come over 4 feet from the corner. That leaves me just a little bit less than 4 feet of an opening in the middle. So I'm going to come down 18 inches, so I'm able to have this open the whole almost 4 feet. I think that'll look good, give you a chance to look out when you're doing dishes or cooking bear chili or whatever the case may be. 3:05 on a Friday. You didn't have anything else to do today, right? I didn't think so. Okay, well, let's frame this wall up, and then that'll probably be it for today. And we'll hit this in the morning and we'll do some more work. Isn't this fun? Well, I'm back, and you're still here. You know what? I'm going to give you 5 stars if you're still here. Okay, 10. I'll give you 10 stars if you're still here. Congrats. You know, I've talked to you about the concept of having to do A before you do B, before you do C, etc., when you're doing construction. It's all about order of operations. So we're working on the walls, of course, and I remembered that this corner is going to be bumped out about 2 feet just to cover the ends of cabinets and whatever we have in here. And this side will be bumped out 2 feet this way all the way to the top. So this is where the order of operations lies. I can't put this little 2-foot wall all the way to the top until I know what my top is. Well, my top is going to be the rafter. So really what I need to do is put my end rafters in before I can put that little wall in. But before I put my end rafters in, I want to put the siding on so that that little notch bumps up against the siding versus against the beam. Hope that makes sense. So before I put my rafter on, I'm going to put siding on, at least up here where the end rafters are going to touch it. But before I put the siding on, I got to put a piece of flashing on. And that flashing is going to sit right down here on this lip. I know in theory I could have framed this up so that everything sat between the posts, but I really wanted this bottom beam to wrap everything. I think it's stronger that way. So I'm going to put a piece of flashing here. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here's the flashing I'm going to use. It's just going to sit just like that. Just has a little lip that creeps down over. I know this is stained, and I know I'm not really concerned about Doug fir, but what I didn't want is moisture to be sitting on this underneath the siding and just trapped in that crack under there. Then you ask for problems wicking moisture up into the siding, sitting there on this Doug fir over time. Not good. So I'm gonna flash it. It's easy. Flashing isn't that expensive, so I'm good with it. So back to the order of operations. I'm gonna paint this. I don't want galvanized showing, so I'm gonna paint this. Which reminds me, I forgot to do something. You didn't remind. Why didn't you remind me? Goodness gracious. I forgot to paint my straps. Yes. I was going to paint these things black before I put them up. Completely spaced it out. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, the sun is shining. It's summertime. Come on. Can't you give a guy a break? All right. Well, let's do that so we can do that, 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 so we can do that. Oh, you're wondering what the heck is this for? You're going to love this. Oh, look what I have going on up here. I have that 2x6 screwed in very well to the top of that beam. At the end of this 2x6 is this ladder. Yeah, it's just dangling right there. What's going on, you ask? That top beam had a little bit of a twist to it. Not really a twist, a cant, I guess would be a better word. So it was exposing a small crack right here, a small gap on both posts. So I just took that board, applied some leverage, twisted that beam this way ever so slightly. I mean, I'm talking 1/16 of an inch at the most, but that was enough. So now I feel good about stitching it all together with the plywood, and then it's not going to go anywhere. What a day. It's supposed to be a scorcher today. It's 9:15 right now. It's supposed to be 91 degrees here. Fairly hot for up in the mountain, 3,000 feet. I had several of you ask, by the way, if you could see Canada from here. Yes, top of that hill's Canada. There's a quarry pit over there too. Yeah, I think you can see it right in there. That's Canada. Only about 3 miles-ish, the way the crow flies. So enough geography and weather. Let's get to work. Well, we got a few steps out of the way. Plywood's on. I'm going to finish this outside just like I did the cabin, with a board and batten look. And I'll put the battens every 2 feet. Oh, did you notice I put a carpenter's pencil under here and set this plywood on top of that? That way I keep this whole thing off of that flashing about 1/4 of an inch. If water ever gets in there, sits in there, it's not going to touch this. This won't wick it up. So that's a good thing. By now, some of you may be asking, why didn't I just run these beams long on each side and put the very last rafter on the beams? You know, you could do that. Certainly you can do that. I wanted to kind of mimic the look of the cabin though, and fly my rafters. And I'll get a little bit more into details on cutting these rafters in the rafter episode. I'm going to finish up this wall on this side and call it quits. Like I mentioned, it's going to be warm today. I'm sure you want to get out of here, get in the shade, drink some lemonade. I think that's what you want to do, right? So I'm going to make this wall come out 30 inches just to cover up everything in the kitchen. And then finally, I'll put a wall, half wall over here, have a little doorway area here, post at the end, going up to the top, and it'll be just great. Well, let's build a couple more walls and get out of here. Well, the wall framing is just about done. I still have that little section to do here, but that's okay. We'll do it next time. I did a little bit of rafter work in the wall video, so I'll just do a little wall in the rafter video. That sounds good to me. Next week, we'll either finish up the rafters or put siding on. I'm not sure which one. Kind of depends on the materials I can get. The last time I checked, the siding that I used, which is the one I have right here, is left over from the spur cabin, and the supplier that I found was out of it, so I'm not sure how long it takes him to get it in. So I might have to do rafters next time, but one way or another we'll figure it out. I have a question for you. What country are you from? I have a lot of comments where people say hi from Denmark, or hi from Brazil, or Australia, or Germany, or Belgium. I think it's awesome, and I've received comments that other people think it's cool too. So could you do me a favor in this episode? Could you leave a comment? What country are you from? I would really appreciate that. I want to see how many countries we can accumulate in one video, and I'll share the results with you. YouTube will tell me, subscribers and viewers, where they're from, but I'd really like to get a good breakdown in the video itself. I think that would be awesome. One thing I do know is by far the most is from the US, and I think the second most is from Canada. But again, I think it'd be cool to get a breakdown where everybody's from watching this particular video. Okay, it's noon. It's getting hot. It's supposed to get hotter even the next couple of days. So I gotta stay cool. I'm gonna go home, take a shower. I smell bad. It's a good thing you can't smell me from there. It's a really good thing. So until next week, you take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good. And I'll see you soon.